Hello, everybody. This is Josh Sigmund with your sales tip of the week. It's been a little bit since I've been on the sales side of things, so I thought I'd just go into some details. I read quite a bit, as you guys probably know, and a couple articles and books I've read recently have really kind of put the whole sales picture into perspective for me. There's an article written by the Rain Group, R-A-I-N, and then there's also the book The Challenger Sale that I think really summarizes the best about what differentiates good salespeople from great salespeople. So I thought I'd summarize it the best I could for you guys. Maybe this will help you in your future dealings, no matter what it is that you do, whether you're negotiating a new AC or whether you're trying to help a new client with financial planning, mortgages, real estate, or lending. Doesn't really matter. So here's the thought process. The old way of doing business from a sales perspective is all, we still do, but there's always been the need to build rapport. People like to work with people that they like. So that's obviously the first one. And then obviously for years and decades, actually, there's always been a need to do what's called a needs analysis. So a needs analysis is obviously trying to ascertain what is the client really needs. The third thing, obviously, is to fill the need. And so in the basic sense of sales, I would say that probably the better part of 80 or 90% of salespeople simply do those three things. So they become friends with somebody, they're referred highly, or they find something in common very quickly, so the rapport is done. Ask a couple questions. Usually those questions are more dictated by the buyer, meaning that the buyer tells them what they need, and then the salesperson says, I can do that, or I can't do that, or yes, here's the price. And so when you really get down to it, most salespeople aren't great salespeople. And that's why it doesn't mean that rapport building, needs analysis, and giving the client what they want is not important. But I really believe in the book, The Challenger Sale, and the Rain Group all believe the same way, that that's really now just the barrier of entry. Okay. So if that's the barrier of entry, what I want to kind of point out are the other steps that higher level salespeople kind of get into, other things that they accomplish that really differentiates themselves. Because at the end of the day, if I can go ask five different people, can you do this? And the answer is yes. Then I'll say, what's the price? And I'll make my decision based on the price. If they're all the same, there's nothing else being offered, then why wouldn't I, if they're all nice people in general, why wouldn't I make my decision based on price, right? So, when you really kind of get into it, I came up with a couple of bullet points that I like to follow, and I follow them normally in my own head. But maybe this is something that will help you with your career. So building rapport still has to happen. Needs analysis still has to happen. Past the needs analysis, I think a crucial step is reviewing goals. So, that's the why. So big picture, you're telling me that you want to do this, but why do you want to do that? What are you trying to accomplish? What's the big picture? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? All those extra things. Make sure you understand the full global view of what the goals really are. I would also say that the next step is you have to provide additional perspective. So that's great, but I appreciate your goals. Have you thought of? Those types of things, providing the additional perspective is where you start to differentiate yourself as not being an order taker, but more of a consultant. Okay, it's got to take a lot of time doing that. It also really gets to the why. Why exactly are you telling me you want to put 20% down this mortgage? Maybe it makes sense, maybe it doesn't. But as a consultant, I want to make sure it is in your best needs before I just answer the question. Why are you wanting to buy this house on the south side? Is it because it's closest to your office? Because if you're trying to get the best appreciation? Why are you doing that? Because if it's not in alignment, then I want to give you better perspective. Okay. The next thing is you got to align yourself alongside the client. Instead of being this across the table, yes, no, answer question, give questions, you got to be alongside. We're working together to get to that solution. You got to seek agreement. Okay, you got to seek agreement about the real needs of the client. So after you've gone through what they asked for and you've taken the time to go through their goals and then you've provided additional perspective, now you've got to kind of come on back together and say, hey, so it sounds like I brought up some valid points here. Is it still 20% down that you're looking for, or is it more that we need to make sure the payment's underneath $1,500? Which one is it? Or from a client's perspective buying a house, is it really $300,000 sales price, or is it that you need to be in this school district? Really important to make sure that you get back to the same alignment, that you're in agreement with one another about what the real problem is that you are trying to solve. Okay? After that, provide professional advice. That is the only reason why they are coming to you in the first place. They don't want you to. They don't want to be told they don't want to tell you what they need. They need to be told what your professional advice is. So at the end of the day, here's my goals. Should I be doing it? That's the question that we all need to be answering. So in my professional opinion, I think that, yeah, based on what you're saying, you should do 20% down. Or no, you should be doing 5% down. In my professional opinion, if you're looking for appreciation, you should be in the northwest side, not the south side, if it's really appreciation. In my professional opinion, yes, you should be buying in that $300,000 sales price, because that's the only area that you're going to be able to get into the school district that you're trying to get into. So give that professional advice. Next thing you got to do is point out pitfalls. So now that we've kind of come into agreement about which direction we're going, and we've given our advice, we can say, hey, just so you know, there are going to be some pitfalls that come along, and they might look like A, B, and C. Whether it's the industry that you're in is problematic, overregulated, I'm going to take your firstborn child, or it's the truth of the matter is it's a low inventory environment, and so the neighborhood that you're looking for in that $300,000 sales price, you might only get one shot every 60 or 90 days. So be ready to act. Point out those potential pitfalls and provide some solutions to those pitfalls. One thing that you need to do now is we've got to prove that we are the right person for the job. Okay, so it's not enough just to identify everything, go through their goals, and make sure that we clearly understand them. Now I have to prove, why me? Why should you trust me with your mortgage? Why should you trust me with your real estate transaction? Why should you trust me? Right? So using any kind of social proof, either past client surveys, Yelp reviews, awards, distinctions. If you have a couple acronyms after your name and your signature line, point out what those professional designations are, because it's really important that they know, hey, you really are best suited to solve my needs, accomplish my goals, and avoid the pitfalls, right? Last but not least, the best salespeople ask for the business. If you go through all that work and say, think about it, they will, and they'll talk it over with other people. At the end of the day, they will forget where they got all that valuable information. So when you're all said and done, you got to look in the eyeballs and say, hey, listen, I would love to be your mortgage lender. Can I earn your business today? Hey, I would really love to be your realtor. Can I earn your business today? Be specific about what you want from this now. You gave your advice for free, but now you'd like to be paid. Now you'd like to help them with the transaction because you've proven your worth. So I hope that helps you guys. No matter, like I said, what kind of transaction you're in, I really think it's important for all of us as professionals to elevate our game. And by doing so, you will have a better experience, and more importantly, your client will have a more valuable experience. This is Josh Sigmund with Legacy Mutual Mortgage, and your tip of the week. I hope you have a blessed day. Have a great one. Bye-bye.